Khabib, I wanted to ask you, as Dana said, you're a big global superstar, but here I feel like the expectations, the pressure might even be more. I know how much you love being here in Abu Dhabi and the UAE, but is it more difficult to be here because the expectations, the time, the attention that you get here makes it more difficult to compete than maybe in Las Vegas?
What's up, guys? Yes, of course, it's a little bit difficult. It's always difficult when you have fight, when you have cut weight, when you have so much pressure on your shoulder. It's always difficult. It's never been. It's like easy. And right now, it's like special time for me. Fighting here in Abu Dhabi with all this pandemic stuff, with all this like without crowd, without fans, and I think it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Clearly, this would be a huge win for you in your career. It's a big fight. We know that 30-0 mark is out there for you. We don't know who it might be, but if you win this fight and 30-0 is on the line, when would you like to have that next fight? Do you have a date plan that you think that's when I'd like to go for 30-0?
Honestly, I don't like this word if. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I'm focused on Justin Gaethje this Saturday night. And what UFC have after this fight, I think you guys have to ask this guy because he, he called us and then we talk about fights. What's going to happen after, I don't know. Right now, I'm focused on Justin Gaethje.
Very nice. For Justin, if I could, please, when we were talking to Khabib earlier, he mentioned that he thought he could wear you down. Rounds 3 and 4 might be a good time to finish you. Are you surprised to hear him say that he thinks he can wear you down based on your track record, your history of pace and of exciting fights?
No, I know he's, ultimately confident in what he does. He's done it 28 times. So, I expect him to believe that that's going to happen. I've been telling myself that's going to happen, as a matter of fact. And that's what drives me every single day. I'm a performer. I always show up under the lights. And that's what I do. I've been doing this as long as he has. This is ingrained in us. And on Saturday night, I will, leave everything, give everything, and, be proud of my performance.
Nice. And last thing for me, Justin, I feel like in most of Khabib's fights, we can see his opponent, kind of a moment that person breaks, that person realizes, like, man, this dude's different. He's special. Have you ever been in a position like that where you were tested and you thought, man, this guy might break me? And if so, how do you get through that in a fight?
Never in actual competition, but in practice, that's happened many times. My rule is I quit or you quit every single time I go to practice. Whether we're best friends or, enemies, I'm here to get better. And that's what every practice is for me. Again, I've been telling myself that's going to happen. And, I can't wait to surprise myself again.
For Justin, I was thinking, when you look at Khabib's past fights, is there a consistent mistake his opponents always make, or is it just that he's good enough to overcome whatever they have planned?
I didn't watch any tape on Khabib. I've watched his fights throughout his career because I'm a huge fan of MMA, but I didn't go back when I got him as an opponent to analyze him. I've always focused on being my best self. I've worked as long. He hasn't wrestled or fought somebody that has wrestled or grappled as long as he has. That is me. I have. Everyone says, they're ready. I will not allow him to put me on the fence. And if I do, then I'm screwed. So my game plan is if he wants to grapple, let's grapple in the middle. And at all times, I will be, I've said it 1,000 times, I cause damage. I have dense bones, and, I'm going to kick his legs. That's where it's going to start, and then we're going to move on from there.
And for Khabib, Justin just mentioned his wrestling. I was curious, for the uninitiated, what's the difference between the wrestling you possess and the wrestling that a traditional American D1 wrestler possesses?
I think you're supposed to ask me what difference between Dagestan wrestling and American wrestling. This is a good question. I think it's big difference, and I know he know how to wrestle, but what about wrestling 25 minutes? It's gonna be like I told DC today. Like when you fight with Stipe Miocic last time, you grab his leg one time and you take him down, and he get up very quickly, and that's it, and you finish. And other minutes all going stand up, but between me and DC is big difference. And if I'm gonna try to take him down once and he gonna defend his goods, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go all night. I'm gonna go all night. This is big difference between U.S. wrestling and Dagestan wrestling.
And then when it comes to Justin Gaethje, what does he do specifically for your legacy that your previous opponents have not done?
He finished a lot of opponents, a lot of great guys, and he finished all of them. And he was a great champion in other organization before UFC. Right now he champion in UFC interim champ. He beat Tony Ferguson. I think beat a guy like Justin Gaethje is gonna be big for my legacy.
And then last thing from me, we've heard from Justin say he causes damage, and a lot's been made of his mindset leading into this fight. Do you believe Justin Gaethje has a unique attitude towards fighting?
Yes, when he fight, he beginning very fast. Like first round, he's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. I think him and the corner is two most dangerous guys in first round. But if you talk about second round, third round, they become like a little bit regular fighters.
And then you've obviously faced a lot of great strikers in the past, like Edson Barboza, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. How does Justin's striking compare to those, considering most of the narrative is between wrestling? What do you make of his striking?
I think he have dynamite on his hands, very good kick. He have very good kick. Like they all good. They all good when they stand up. But when I grab them, it's changed a little bit, And I think more than Dustin and Conor and other guys, he know how to wrestle. It's gonna be a little bit hard, but I prepare myself to try to take him down 100 times. It's gonna be very interesting Saturday night.
And then same question for Justin. What do you make of Khabib's striking? We don't see a lot of it. I know you said you don't watch tapes, but given the fights that you have seen of his, does his striking compare to anyone else you've
Be careful with my jab, brother. I have good jab.
He has a lot of good things. Everything's unorthodox, and at different times. Everything in there is timing. Timing and space is the most important factors when you're in a fight. And I believe, he's world class in that regard. Doesn't sound like he's planning on striking much. He said 25 minutes on the ground. So, we'll see how much of that we see.
It's questions for Justin Gaethje. A couple of weeks ago, Ali came on the Schmozone podcast and talked about a time that you helped Khabib cut weight a couple of years ago for a UFC fight. Is there anything you learned in those intimate moments leading up to this moment that you have here to get the championship crown?
Listen, I've been cutting weight my whole life. He's been cutting weight his whole life. There's nothing fun about it. So if I'm around and you're struggling, then I'm going to lend a helping hand. It doesn't matter who you are. I just happened to be in the situation at the time, and it's who I am. It's nothing more than that. I didn't go into the situation to learn about him or about his mindset. I was there to help because he needed some help at the time, just in that 1 minute.
It's questions for Khabib. You want to be known as the greatest of all time, or one of the greatest of all times. You have a lot of respect for the Mike Tysons, the Muhammad Alis. What is there left in your career if you beat Justin Gaethje to prove for you to be in that conversation?
Like Muhammad Ali, he is on different level. I think it's like Mike Tyson is almost same level, but like personality, Muhammad Ali is like different level, And for me, become like this, I don't know. It's a very hard question, When I grew up, I watched these guys, these guys greatest. I don't know I can ever become close to these people. I didn't have like this goal, I just want to win every my fights, and we'll see on future, because I'm not finished yet everything what I have.
After UFC 244, Dustin mentioned that during the aftermath that he felt like the away fighter. I'm curious to know, do you feel like you're on enemy turf here?
If you go back a couple years ago, I think I said I wanted to go to Brazil and fight their best. I wanted to go to Ireland and fight their best, and I wanted to come to Russia and fight Khabib. That's the chaos. They don't wish they wish ill on you. They don't necessarily want you to die or anything, but that hostility is what I thrive in, and I can't wait for there to be people back up. If there was 100,000 people in there wanting me to die, it would be fantastic. It would be such a great feeling.